Hello, everyone. Welcome to chapter 212 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekend edition. Bit of an early start for the weekend edition this week because I have a Hub City Turner class coming out here Saturday and Sunday. So I thought it would be a good thing for you to see what exactly goes on in preparing my shop to host a class. So if you want to see what I go through to host a class, all you need to do is stay tuned. Well, yes, it's middle of winter, it's cold outside, and just the time of year that a person should be doing classes and hosting turning events. It's perfect. Um, there is a fair amount of work to get my shop ready to host a turning class. Now, I really enjoy hosting these classes with the Hub City Turners. Trent Watts, as you've seen in a previous video of mine, excuse me, did some turning, did a natural edge bowl on the lathe, which was a lot of fun to watch. And if you want to see that, just go back. I forget which video it is, but you can find it if you go to my channel and just look for it. Um, it's a fair amount of work in my shop to host a turning class because my shop is used every day. So, for example, and then it also has to play many roles, which is a big problem. For example, my shop is heated. In this part of Saskatchewan, if you don't have heat in your shop, you're probably not in your shop in winter. Now, with insulating and everything, this shop would probably hover around 5 degrees Celsius with no heat, but it's a comfortable 20 degrees in here now, so that's wonderful. The noise you hear in the background is my furnace running, so yeah, without heat, there's no way this works. But anyway, my shop is multi-purpose. For example, storing the snowblower in here, which takes quite a bit of room. But for the class, it'll go out. Um, Basically, there's just a number of things. Oh, helmets lying around. Yeah, my son and grandkids were out snowmobiling last weekend, and one helmet didn't fit, so we got one of mine out. But like I said, it's kind of the catch-all. And working on scroll saw stands, working with metal, if you've kept up with my videos, yeah, it creates a big problem. So right now, this shop is one colossal mess. But there's more to it than just cleaning it up. So, for example, I like to start with wood preparation because even if I clean up is endless in here, and if I don't quite get it to where I want it, people will come in, they'll set up a lathe with wood, we can start turning, the class goes ahead. So the wood is the most important thing, and I start with that. So I've got, it's a typical introductory class for the Hub City Turners. So on Saturday, we're going to work between centers and cover a lot of the basics. And on Sunday, we'll do a wet bowl, something that the wood isn't completely dried. This is a piece that I've had inside here for a while. We'll see how it works out, but I've got more of this outside. So the wood is the most important, but there are a number of things in this shop that I have to check over. For example, I need to just peek at my first aid kit to make sure that we're good to go. That's all good. The coffee stuff, the pop stuff. I got to make sure my fridge is stocked, make sure I have coffee and water and everything out here. Thank goodness I have a bathroom in here, which is awesome. But speaking of which, that bathroom needs to be gone through. It needs to be cleaned up. Um, when I work in this shop every day, after a little while, it tends to look like a guy bathroom, which isn't acceptable for these turning weekends. Now, thank goodness, a lot of the year I have students in here, so I do clean that bathroom quite regularly, but it's going to get a fairly good cleaning today yet. And sharpening stuff. I need to make sure all my sharpening stuff is working and the bench is cleared off and stuff is put away. And sandpaper, I did that on the weekend. I cut up sandpaper for people to use for hand sanding. And I think that's about all that I really need to do. But and then of course clean everything up, and that is going to be the biggest challenge. So right now there are 10 lathes in this shop. It's almost like playing a game of Where's Waldo. Oh, there's a lathe, oh, there's a lathe. So, but it does work in here if things go normally. Now, the one thing I have difficulty accommodating is somebody bringing their own lathe, especially a lathe without a stand. That is hard to accommodate because if you set it on one of my tables here, chances are it's the wrong height. So then you have to get out the riser kit for the turner and make him a little like 6 inches higher or 8 inches, I think I have. Yeah, it's a real pain. So if it has a stand, it's not as bad because we can put it somewhere in the corner here and make that work. But yeah, although it's nice to encourage students to bring their own stuff, it can be a problem. So yeah, for these classes, my lathes are set up. My tool, you should bring your tools. That's great. But we can sharpen here, and we can sharpen any way you want. You can sharpen variable speed grinders, CBN wheels. You can sharpen a high speed grinder with one way regular wheels. I forget what they're called. And if you're really, really fussy, you can go to basically my electric hone that I sharpen X-Acto blades on. So sharpening's covered. And all you need to do is bring your tools and a smile on your face. And by Saturday, we'll even have the driveway blown off because it snowed. It's been snowing here a lot this year. So I'll have to clean the driveway, but I'll do that Friday. So there's only one day snow on it when people get here early Saturday morning. So now you know what I have to do. I think we're just going to start doing it. So hang in there. I'll show you what I go through. Well, the first step in the process of getting ready for this coming weekend is to cut the material. So we have the first day is between centers, the second day is a bowl. So I've got to get some between centers blanks ready and bowl blanks. The project that often gets turned is this little mallet. A lot of them put beads on them or whatever. And this it's a little shorter because we used a piece of scrap to demo. So this could be, I'm preparing for that. So we're making these 10 inches long. And this is beautiful birch. It's 2 7/8, and we'll make them 2 7/8 this way. And I'll cut up probably double what I think I need. That's usually my rule of thumb. I like to have basically a backup piece for everybody. So anyway, I'm going to cut this. One thing I did forget in my list of getting things organized, I forgot. I've got to go into every lathe and make sure the tools are all there. Okay, so let's make some cuts and get this going. There we go. There we go. Now we're making bowl blanks. I need to make sure that my lathe works flawlessly. Well, the next thing I do is clean off my sharpening counter and make sure everything's set right for sharpening. The bathroom needs to be clean. Not my favorite job. And no bathroom cleaning would be complete without scrubbing the old water closet. There you go. How's that for a non-offensive name? Anyway, yeah. Just making sure we have enough band-aids and the first aid stuff is all where it should be. Making sure the fridge is stocked. Can't forget my favorite. Making sure that the Keurig is supplied, has water, and is ready for that Saturday morning rush. And making sure the microwave is clean so that people can warm up their lunches. And then it's time to look at each lathe, make sure that the right tools are in the right lathe and that it's all organized. And there's a safe center for each lathe. Take a little bit of time and just refresh the tool rest because that's important. Making sure that the lathe runs, that the light works. And now that I have one done, there are just 7 more to do. And a quick way to adjust the height of each lathe to the students as they arrive here on Saturday morning. Well, this is just the first of a number of sweepings that I've done in the shop. This one is where I get rid of all the major sawdust, like the shavings from the chainsaw and all that stuff. It usually takes a couple of these at least to get the shop cleaned properly. And it's important for me to get this done today. This is Wednesday, and our garbage truck comes around on Thursday. And that way I'll have everything emptied out so that when we're turning on the weekend that I can have enough garbage space for all the shavings. And all that remains is a final sweep, maybe a little bit of blowing off dust with the air hose. Try to get as much dust out of here as I can. I'm realizing as I'm closing this video off, there's a couple things I didn't show you, but they're relatively minor. I need to check the filter in my air cleaner yet, and I need to make sure that there's enough hook storage for people to hang their jackets when they get here. So there are a bunch of quick clips to help you get a feel for what all needs to be done. But the one thing that they maybe are not completely honest about is how much time this takes. Now, this shop was a complete disaster before I started, and I admit that freely. Like I said in an earlier clip, it becomes a dumping ground for everything I'm doing, and I'm not good at cleaning it up after each day, which I need to get into the habit of. And we haven't run the lathes for a little while, so there's a little bit more work there. But basically, this will end up taking me 2 days about to do, give or take a little bit. But I'd allow 2 days for this. Now, I cut extra blanks, so if we do a class, and we're also having a little bit of a get-together here the next weekend, although I'm not supplying material for that. So, but if I cut enough for one class, maybe I don't have to cut for the next class. You kind of see how it balances out a bit. But I would say to properly prepare my shop the way it is and the way it gets used, to do a 1 weekend class is at least about 2 days work. So, and yes, I shot video in between, which always slows things down as well. But that's what it is. So if you can get involved in classes in your area, please, I would encourage you to do that. They're wonderful. I've enjoyed hosting this class, and working together with Trent Watts has been just a lot of fun for me. So I don't have to worry about what he's going to teach the class. I just have to be here, and I play a supporting role when we're in class, because you always only have one instructor. That's the way it works. So yeah, I'd like to encourage you to come out if you're within driving distance, or maybe not for this one, but the next one. And anyway, these things are a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed hosting them. So with that in mind, yeah, it's frosty cold outside. Tonight is supposed to be -40 without wind chill. So -40, whether it's Celsius or Fahrenheit, it doesn't matter. They're the same at that range. So with wind chill, I think they're saying -55 or something like that. It's kind of nasty cold, but it's nice and warm in here. The furnace has been running a little bit this evening, and it's been wonderful. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Maybe I'll start sharing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway stuff with you shortly. Parts are coming in, like I've said. I'm looking forward to getting to start working on that, but I've got a few things to do first. So with that in mind, we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. I hope you do too. We will see you in the middle of next week on the weekly edition. Take care now. Stay warm. Well, I bet you thought this video was over. Well, unfortunately, it's Friday at noon, and I'm just kind of wrapping up this video, and it's still bitterly cold out here, and we've decided to cancel the class for this weekend. Turning's a lot of fun, but it's not worth the anxiety of traveling, and for some people attending this class from quite a distance, like a couple hours away, and it's not worth it. So we'll shut it down this weekend, but a couple weekends from now in February, we'll get it going again. It happens here in Saskatchewan. When I was teaching, when the temperature and wind chill got to -40 or below, the buses didn't run. And you know what? That's a good thing. So anyway, we got caught in it, but next weekend, we're going to have another kind of event in my shop here. I thought of it to basically have people that don't go south for the winter or don't go on a cruise or whatever, well, this is their cruise. I've always joked with anybody who'd listen that my shop is my cruise ship. So we're going to get together here, have a little bit of fun. People can turn what they want, and I have room for 10 people. I think we're 1 or 2 short yet, but hey, if you hear this, and give Trent a text or email or phone him and see how the numbers are going, and you can come to that instead. I'm sure it'll be nicer next weekend. So anyway, now I'm signing off, and we'll see you when we see you.